Today's a good day because today is a travel day. Today I'm going there. Home. Good morning, it's a beautiful day here in the city of Barcelona. It's been a while since I've been here. The last time was during the pandemic when I actually moved to Barcelona for a short period of time. Back then I just needed a big change. I needed to be around different people in a different city. But for the last 9 months I've just been head down, focused on work. And while that feels great in the sense of progress, for me, travel is a really important part of me feeling like I'm growing and never staying too comfortable. It's great to be back, and those feelings of what life was like back then are also coming back. This reminds me of a really cool German word, Fernweh, which is the pain that you're not in a faraway place. What? Too much? I moved to Barcelona because during the pandemic, life was hard for everybody. I just needed a complete reset, to be somewhere completely different. Moving to a new city is a chance to redefine everything. So much is new that it makes you question what you want and how you want to live, which new routines you want to develop, just in general, how you want your life to be. Through Esperanto, I already knew a few people in the city, and that made it easier to make friends. I spent time exploring my local neighborhood, learning how the transport system works, figuring out how gyms work here, just generally learning how life in the city works, and adapting to those differences and embracing them and just having fun. After a month or so of learning how life works in the city, making friends, I really started to get a sense of that same level of comfort I had back in Manchester. And Barcelona at that point stopped being a place on a map, a place where people go on holiday, and started to feel a lot more like Manchester felt. It just became another home. This idea of Fernweh was with me since being young. I remember always saying things like, when I get older I'm going to move to a different country. I just always felt excited about being in a different place, somewhere I didn't know any of the people, any of the culture. The first time I really explored that was when I went on a holiday with my girlfriend's parents. I was 18, it's the first time I'd ever been outside the UK, and I went to Turkey. In the airport I found a Turkish phrase book, and the idea of learning about the language for the country I was about to go to was also super exciting. So I bought this book, took it with me, and probably spent the majority of the holiday just reading this phrase book. While everybody else was in the pool having fun, my idea of fun was sitting in the shade with a Turkish phrase book, learning Turkish. About halfway through the holiday, sitting in the hotel and not really experiencing the country I was in just felt limiting. So I floated the idea of leaving the hotel and wandering around the local area to my girlfriend's parents, and they were not excited about the idea. They told me, don't do it, it's too dangerous. I didn't take that advice. I went outside, waited for a local Turkish bus called a dolmuş. These are tiny white vans with curtains inside, you can imagine. I'd learned a few Turkish words by then. I'd learned merhaba, hello, and teşekkür ederim, thank you. And I thought that's enough to get me to the local town, so I got on this bus and I did manage to get to the local town. I spent the whole day walking around exploring this completely foreign place full of completely different people to what I was used to. I stood out for sure. I was probably the only person there that was obviously not Turkish. It was such a powerful and eye-opening experience to just embrace this idea of Fernweh, to embrace being in a different place and letting myself just be open-minded and be changed by the place I was in. Even though I didn't know the words Fernweh, I knew it by feeling, and that experience in Turkey was the first time I'd really explored it. It taught me that when I feel like that, the best thing to do is just go to those faraway places, take from them what you need, spend enough time in them to learn about how the world is different. That's when you're the most open-minded, and that's the time to do it. Don't try that at home. For me, it's really important to keep my identity small. Not use too many labels to define myself, but also to keep my definition of home wide. Home for me isn't just one place. It's Berlin, Barcelona, Lanzarote. Those places I've spent time meeting new people, making new friends, doing the kind of things that you would do at home. And at this point, the fact that I can grab a bag and go to a different place and have all the same support system and comfort that I would have in my other versions of home is a super important thing, and it makes me feel more connected to the world. It makes me feel more free. At this point, I intend to explore that as much as I can and see how much more wide I can make that definition of home. Home definitely isn't just one place anymore.